I know what you're thinking. My skin probably looks very red today, and you'd be correct. I used a different kind of sunscreen yesterday, and I'm pretty sure it burned, like chemically burned me, or I had a bad reaction to it because it stung really bad and now my face is red. Hello, welcome back to my story. If you did not know, my name is Harley Nouveau. Another week has gone by, which means it's time for the next chapter in my skin update series. This is week 7, I believe. So we're 7 weeks into my retinoid, retinol routine. I'm using Differin specifically. You know, ironically, is that the correct use of the word? I went like a full 4 days without getting a single breakout, and of course I'm trying to film this like week so that I'm not misrepresenting what's happening, because you know, like if I film today and then I film the next week, 3 days from now, a full week hasn't passed, so I'm trying to keep it consistent. So I missed like a full 4 days where my skin looked great, and then of course right when I need to go film, all of this happens. Now, before we get into the update, if you would please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, add your name to the storybook that is my life. I'm always looking to expand the cast. There's not much to talk about today, it's just humid, so with all of that out of the way, let's get into this update. Where we last left off was, I believe that my redness was going down. I noticed that my breakout was clearing up a bit. I had a little bit of flaking, but it was going away, and my pores looked smaller. You can watch that previous video to fact check that. If I'm not correct, I'm so sorry. Like I said, that pretty much rang true through all the past week. Now, there was a full, as I said, 4-day stretch where I didn't get any new blemishes, and all the ones that I had were going away. And I thought that my skin was like past the curve to where like the breakout was done and it was just gonna keep getting better and better. And boy, I thought wrong. I do want to preface this with saying it is entirely possible that my breakouts that I had were caused by other things. For instance, could be fungal acne, which is folliculitis. It could be my hair breaking out my hairline, which is more than likely what happened here because I have very oily hair and sometimes it likes to do that. It makes it sound like I don't wash my hair. I wash my hair, but I try not to wash it every day because that damages your hair. So sometimes, especially when it's humid, my hair will get very oily very fast. So if I go like a day without washing it, shit like this can happen. I don't really ever have this happen that often at all. Like, it's been probably a good 5 months since I can remember having a hairline breakout. Again, that could be folliculitis, fungal acne, which in the event that it is, I have been taking steps to make sure that I am treating that as well, which also could be what caused this redness, but I'm pretty sure it was sunscreen, so I'm not using that sunscreen anymore. I have very sensitive skin. This update's turning into a skin summary. I have very sensitive skin. Specific chemicals, for instance, vitamin C topically causes extreme irritation on my skin, so it is possible that any one of the chemicals in anything I've taken have done it. However, nothing else has changed except for the addition of that new sunscreen, so I'm blaming the sunscreen. And on that note, it is very strange that the Differin never caused like a chemical burn or irritation on me, because when I was growing up and I had acne, like anything I tried would burn my face. Like, it looked like I had a sunburn. Maybe it's a sign. Let's get into the actual update portion. So, getting closer, as you can tell, quite a bit has changed. I have this happening right here. I would say, it's hard to describe, because fungal acne is usually described as being like yellowish in color and having like hard seeds almost underneath it. And they do that, and these really pop up like in one day and then they start going away. So it's fast. On my forehead, you can tell it's a situation. Also, I'm really shiny because I just put on everything. Over here, this actually started going away and then it came back right before I filmed. Now, I have a couple theories about that. Again, this is close to my hairline, so it could be the same thing over here. It's also possible that when I had this cluster the very first time, I have a really bad problem with touching my skin. Now, I've worked on that quite a bit. It's possible that I damaged the gland or the pore when I was picking at it weeks and weeks and weeks ago, because I keep having a breakout on this specific spot over and over and over and over no matter what I do. It's very possible when you do try to pop pimples or zits incorrectly that it damages the gland or the pore, which causes bacteria to get trapped down there, so it basically makes it break out over and over. The only way to really alleviate that is to just leave it alone, and hopefully it moves up to the surface and out, which that's what I've been doing. I'm hoping that that makes it go away. As I said, I am in week 7 now, which means I still have 5 weeks to go before I'm technically in the clear. That doesn't mean my skin will be perfect. This is like a forever thing, and they say that your skin will get better and better as you go. But typically most people see the results by week 12, the good ones. Another thing that makes me think that I might have folliculitis is because some of these spots are getting itchy. So I have been using selenium sulfate to help do that, but who knows how long that will take. You know, growing up, I used to have this running joke that, like, if it was a thing, it would happen to me. It would make sense that I get fungal acne, which sounds horrible. So, fungal acne, essentially, it's not like a dirty thing. We associate a lot of things like ringworm and all that with being dirty. Literally, these are just bacteria spores that are present on all of us. It's just when they activate that really changes. So I don't know if it was the switch between the drastic weather change that I went through recently, going from Florida to Texas, or vice versa, that caused a fungal acne to flare up on me. I'm assuming I have fungal acne because typically, like, the marcations are tiny little bumps, like in clusters, and then, like I said, that yellow stuff. Again, I tell you, this thing has really been taxing on my mental health, but to say that everything in life worth having takes some effort to get. So I'm hoping, again, I know I've said this every week for the past 7 weeks, that all of this is worth it in the end. My nose was doing pretty good. I'm still having some like tuft hanging in pores. You know, I did discover, and I don't remember if I talked about this last time, it is entirely possible that I do not have blackheads on my pores. I have been wondering for a while if it's sebaceous filaments, which is basically like oil buildup in your pores. Like if you have overactive sebaceous glands, that can be a thing. And typically the way you can tell, I'm trying to get close to where it zooms in, is that they're not like black, brown, or hard per se. If you look at them up close, they're kind of discolored and they don't look firm, and that's kind of always been a thing on my nose, so I'm wondering if I've always struggled with that. Yeah, there's just been a lot of changes. I wish that I could exfoliate, but I'm so hesitant to do that because it can make the reaction to the retinol more intense because it causes it to penetrate deeper, or your skin is already irritated. Some people have recommended using like a microfiber cloth to cleanse with because it will manually exfoliate, but again, I have very sensitive skin, so it's always difficult to ascertain the correct path. There's still some benefits I've seen from this routine, and like I said, I am going to hold on until I hit the 12-week point before I decide if I'm going to continue it. Yeah, that's pretty much all that has changed in between last week and this week. I'm breaking out a bit more along my hairline. Don't know if it's from humidity and oil or fungal. And I need to quit touching my face. My pores are still large and enlarged. I feel like they're getting a little bit better over time. But it's always hard to tell if that's like a psychosomatic thing. I'm convincing myself that my pores have gotten better. It's possible. I'm keeping an eye out on these spots that keep breaking out over and over, specifically right here, and right here, are repeatedly trying to inflame. So I don't know if I have a damaged follicle. you know, this whole thing. Like I said, if you watch this series and you're thinking about giving this a try, just be fully prepared for the horrors that come along with transitional periods from week 1 to week 12. I can't say, again, if it is worth it or not. I'll have to give that verdict when I hit the end of the rope. As of right now, I'm still cautiously optimistic, but slightly bitter at the same time. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for stopping by for another chapter of my story. As always, I am Harley Nouveau, and I wish each of you every happiness until our stars next align.